This morning, you fought over something small, maybe coffee, maybe a tone of voice, maybe nothing at all. And by afternoon, you fought again. And tonight, you're lying in the same bed, thinking about it, replaying it, wondering, why does this keep happening? Why do we keep doing this? And somewhere underneath all of that, a quieter question. One you're almost afraid to ask. Are we okay? Stay with me. Because what I'm about to tell you is going to change the way you see every fight you've ever had, and every fight you'll ever have. You've seen them, the perfect couple, on your feed, at family gatherings. That one pair everyone points to and says, why can't you two be more like them? And you look at your relationship, with its arguments, its mess, its complicated silences, and you wonder, maybe we're broken. Maybe we chose wrong. Maybe love isn't supposed to feel this hard. But here's what nobody tells you. Sometimes the couples who look perfect really are happy. But sometimes, what looks like peace is actually distance. And from the outside, it's almost impossible to tell the difference. Because relationships are not measured by how perfect they look. They're measured by how honestly two people engage with each other. Conflict is not proof that something is wrong. It's proof that two separate human beings are trying to share one life, and that's never simple. What matters isn't whether conflict exists. What matters is what happens because of it. Think about the last time you got truly angry. Not mildly annoyed, but genuinely, deeply, emotionally upset. Now think about who made you feel that. Was it a stranger? Someone at work? Someone you barely know? Probably not. It was them, your person. Because the people who affect us most are often the people who matter most. Now, that anger isn't necessarily love, but it is often a sign that something important to you feels threatened. Maybe you felt ignored, maybe misunderstood, maybe afraid of losing connection. The stronger the emotional investment, the stronger the reaction can be. That's why relationship conflicts feel so intense. Not because two people hate each other, but because what they have together matters. The real danger isn't feeling too much. The real danger is feeling nothing at all. When disappointment disappears, when neither person expects anything anymore, that's when relationships begin to drift. Not because of anger, but because of indifference. Can I tell you something that might be uncomfortable? That fight this morning, the one about dishes, or being late, or the way they said that one thing, it was never really about any of that. Not really. Underneath the words, underneath the frustration, was something much quieter, something that sounded like, I feel invisible. I feel like I'm not your priority anymore. I feel disconnected from you. And underneath their frustration, something similar. Two people hurting, two people reaching, two people trying to communicate needs. They don't fully understand themselves. The fight is often not the problem. The fight is the signal. And once you understand that, everything changes. Think about everything you've been through together. The first time they made you laugh so hard you couldn't breathe. The night everything fell apart. And they stayed. The memories, the inside jokes, the moments nobody else knows about. The version of you that only exists around them. That history is invisible. You can't see it during a fight. You can't feel it when you're angry. But it's still there, like roots beneath the ground. Quiet, deep, strong. You don't stay because you're weak. You don't stay because you're trapped. You stay because relationships are built one moment at a time. And over time, those moments become something valuable, something worth protecting. Even when protecting it isn't easy. Now I want to show you something. Pay attention. Because this is the relationship that should make you look closer. They rarely fight, rarely disagree. Everything seems calm. Everything seems peaceful. But sometimes, that peace hides something else. Watch them at dinner, both on their phones. Watch them talk, polite, careful, predictable, like strangers who have memorized each other's routines. Not because they stopped loving each other, but because they stopped expecting anything from each other. They stopped reaching, stopped asking, stopped risking disappointment. And when people stop reaching, connection slowly fades, not with an explosion, but with silence. A loud relationship is not automatically healthy, and a quiet relationship is not automatically broken. What matters is whether two people are still reaching for each other, still trying, still caring enough to reconnect. Nobody taught you how to be vulnerable. Maybe nobody taught them either. So when the feeling gets too big, too overwhelming, too terrifying to say out loud, it comes out wrong. Fear becomes frustration. Loneliness becomes criticism. Insecurity becomes defensiveness. Not because either of you wants to hurt the other, but because vulnerability is hard. It's easier to say, "You never listen," than to say, "I'm scared we're growing apart." It's easier to argue than to admit you're hurting. And often, both people are doing the same thing. Two people trying to protect themselves, while secretly wanting the same thing. Connection, understanding, reassurance. Just, neither of them knows how to ask for it yet. Here is the real answer. Why do some couples fight every day and still never break up? Relationships break when people stop repairing, when they stop listening, stop trying to understand, stop reaching for each other. Every relationship has friction. Two different people, two different minds, two different needs. Conflict is inevitable. But the couples who last aren't the ones who never argue. They're the ones who learn how to reconnect afterward. Think about a pressure cooker. Seal everything inside forever. And eventually, the pressure becomes dangerous. But releasing pressure alone isn't enough. What matters is whether the cooker remains strong afterward. Relationships work the same way. It's not the argument that determines the future. It's the repair, the understanding, the willingness to choose each other again. So the next time you fight, don't ask, "Did we argue?" Ask, "Did we find our way back to each other afterward?" Because love isn't the absence of conflict. It's the willingness to reconnect after it. So the next time you fight, don't panic, don't spiral, don't ask if you chose wrong. Just remember, two people who fight, repair, and keep choosing each other are showing one of the strongest signs of a lasting relationship, not because they're perfect, but because they keep coming back again and again. They are doing the difficult work that every lasting relationship eventually requires. Not the fight, the return, just a little louder than most. I hope you found this video helpful. Before you go, which point in this video resonated with you the most? Let me know in the comments. And what relationship or psychology topic would you like me to cover next?